Imagine building a 90,000-mile elevator to the stars, only to realize you've just built a stairway to heaven for a group of terrorists. Humanity is facing the solar crisis. The sun is expanding, and in 100 years it will melt the Earth. To survive, we're building 10,000 nuclear engines to fly the entire planet to another star system. But while the government is dumping global resources into space engines, radicals from the Digital Life Project want to upload human minds into computers instead. They believe the physical world is dead, and they've started launching terrorist attacks to sabotage the engines. Fast forward, we follow Liu Peiqiang, a pilot training at a base in Gabon. This facility houses the space elevator, the highest structure in human history, designed to shoot cargo into orbit. It ascends so fast that the G-force makes most cadets pass out before they even reach the Ark space station at the top. During the brutal training, Peiqiang bonds with a female trainee named Han Duoduo. He is head over heels, even smuggling a bouquet of flowers onto the elevator to create a romantic moment. But the romance is short-lived. A batch of reserve astronauts arrives. Suddenly, the system is hacked. Every autonomous drone outside the hangar activates on its own. The drones turn their guns on the base, and the elevator cars launch upward, trapped on a collision course with the Ark space station. Inside the rising cars, the trainees realize the reserves are actually terrorists. They rip off and start a massacre 30,000 miles above the ground. Real quick, our heroes are trapped in a metal box that is about to become a bomb. I'm building this channel, Rule Number 1 recaps, from the ground up to survive the algorithm just like these pilots. If you want to see if they survive the fight in the sky, hit that subscribe button. Rule number 1 is we never leave a subscriber behind. Alright, let's see the fight. Outside, the hacked drones open fire on the base. The people on the ground have to shoot at their own technology to survive. Pilots try to scramble fighter jets, but the targeting systems won't lock on because the base's computer still identifies the attacking drones as allies. In Liu's car, the terrorists lock the doors, stealing their ID badges to access the station systems. He realizes he's locked in without a weapon. He improvises. He takes off glasses and holds them up to the window, using the lens to focus the sunlight into a laser-hot beam. He burns right through the electronic lock screen, forcing the door open. He bursts out and checks on a bleeding friend, then engages the terrorists in close-quarters combat. He knocks one off the edge to his death. The terrorist uses a stolen ID to upload a virus just as the drones attach a massive missile to the elevator car. On the ground, scientists finally bring in the 550C, an intelligent quantum computer that overrides the hack. The drones drop from the sky, but the damage is done. The terrorists detonate the missile on the elevator. The explosion drags the elevators back down, and the shockwave shakes everyone in zero gravity. Liu is still fighting the last terrorist. Han Duoduo grabs a mechanical arm and uses it to smash through a window, helping Liu knock the guy out. She smiles and asks for her flowers again, but the victory is short-lived. The terrorist managed to press the detonator. The colossal Ark space station crashes down onto the base, destroying the facility and killing thousands. In the final seconds, Liu jumps on top of Han, using his body to shield her from the falling debris. The base is evacuated, and reports confirm over 3,000 lives were lost. In the weeks that follow, the riots worsen. People are furious about the death toll and wasted resources, demanding the government bring the DLP back. Ambassador Zhao has to step up again, convincing the American ambassador in a backroom meeting to give the project one more chance. While the world panics about the space elevator disaster, the story shifts to the moon. We meet computer engineer Tu Hengyu. He isn't a soldier, he's a grieving father. Years ago, a distracted driving accident killed his wife and left his daughter Yaya on the brink of death. Hengyu used illegal Digital Life Project technology to scan Yaya's brain before she died, uploading her consciousness onto a hard drive. But because the tech was primitive, she isn't truly alive. She's stuck in a loop that lasts exactly 2 minutes. She wakes up, interacts with him, and resets. He has to watch her die every 2 minutes. Forever. Hengyu takes a job on the moon specifically to access the 550 series quantum computers, the only machines powerful enough to give Yaya a real life. The opportunity arises when a solar storm fries the moon base's main computer, the 550C. Without it, they can't launch the lunar engines. Hengyu makes a power move. He reveals he has his own personal 550A unit, which he's been using to run Yaya's simulation. He tells his boss, Ma Zhao, that he'll hand over the AI to save the mission, but only if he is granted a spot on the future 550W development team. He leverages the fate of the Moon project to save his daughter. Zhao agrees, and Heng Yu reluctantly wipes Yaya's current simulation to repurpose the computer for the engines. With the computer in place, they fire the engines. The moon physically shifts, achieving angular displacement. The math works, and the mission is renamed the Wandering Earth. 14 years later, the world has changed. To prepare for the journey, humanity builds massive torque engines to stop the Earth's rotation. Consequently, days stretch into 60-hour cycles, and the internet is shut down to save power. But the environment pays the price. Without rotation, the magnetic field weakens and solar radiation cooks the planet. This causes a massive spike in cancer rates. Tragically, Han Dua, Liu's wife, is one of the victims. She is dying, and they have a young son to worry about. Liu Piakang realizes the only way to save his son is to get him into the underground cities. The slots are limited, and the only guarantee is via preferential policy granted to the families of navigators on the new space station. Liu goes for an interview conducted by the new AI, the 550W. The machine is cold. It looks at Liu's file and states, "Your wife has 83 days to live. It is more logical for you to stay on Earth and comfort her." It tells him his sacrifice is mathematically inefficient. Liu loses control. He screams at the camera, failing the stress test. However, the scientists watching see his desperation. They realize a man fighting for his son is exactly what they need, so they pass him anyway. Before leaving, Liu pulls strings to borrow a fighter jet. He packs his family in and flies them to Shanghai. But this isn't the city we know. It is a frozen wasteland buried under ice because the weather systems have collapsed. Liu flies the jet in pirouettes, dancing through the sky to give his wife one last memory. They land on the ice, and looking at the stars, Han Dua tells him she is ready to go. She wants to die with dignity, not hooked up to hospital machines. It is a gut-wrenching goodbye that sets the stakes for everything Liu does later.
Later that evening, inspired by Liu's passion, Heng Yu sneaks into the base and uploads Yaya's consciousness into the supercomputer. Thanks to the 550W's processing power, Yaya evolves. She's no longer a 2-minute loop. She becomes a fully aware digital entity with a complete life. However, precisely 1.7 seconds after Yaya's upload, a massive surge of data anomalies floods the lunar network. The UEG prepares for the next phase, using the lunar engines to push the moon out of Earth's orbit to clear a path for the planet's departure. Suddenly, the lunar engines overload and explode. The force of the explosion pushes the moon toward Earth rather than away. As the moon spirals closer, its gravitational pull triggers massive earthquakes and floods on Earth. Scientists calculate that the moon will breach the Roche limit, the point where Earth's gravity will tear the moon apart. The resulting debris will rain down and sterilize Earth, wiping out humanity. Consequently, China decides to open its underground cities. Astronauts, including Liu, are sent to the space station navigation platform. However, before Liu leaves, Han dies peacefully in her sleep. Han's father takes their son to the underground city. The UEG devises a desperate 3-pronged plan to survive. 1. The nuclear phase. They must place the world's entire nuclear arsenal on the moon's fault line, the Pearson crater. The explosions will trigger nuclear fusion at the moon's core, vaporizing the satellite before it hits Earth. 2. The Earth engines. They must ignite all 10,000 planetary engines simultaneously to push Earth away from the expanding debris cloud. 3. The Internet reboot. The global internet was destroyed in 2044. However, to synchronize 10,000 engines instantly, the internet must be restored. Teams are sent to Beijing, Tokyo, and Dulles to reboot the 3 root servers. Zhao visits Heng Yu in prison. One of the servers is now underwater, and Zhao wants Heng Yu to help fix it. To convince him, he shows him the drive containing Yaya's and Heng Yu's consciousness backups. They gear up in dive suits to enter the submerged ruins of Beijing. While the teams dive, Liu Peiking joins a fleet transporting nukes to the moon. As they approach, a debris belt forms, turning the landing zone into a slaughterhouse. Asteroids smash into the shuttles, destroying hundreds of warheads. The rest of the shuttles reach the moon safely. But another asteroid hits, causing more shuttles to crash, including Liu's. The survivors must physically drag the remaining bombs on foot across the lunar surface to the detonation points. Liu locks his team inside their shuttle, launches it away from the moon, and decides to drag the nukes on his own. Back on Earth, they realize the warheads are from different models and countries, making it difficult to detonate them simultaneously by remote. Therefore, they need 300 people to do it manually. Many young astronauts volunteer, but Zhang Peng, Liu's mentor, realizes what must be done. The young must live to take care of the future. He issues a command to the international fleet. Chinese squadron, everyone over the age of 50, step forward. Inspired by the Chinese volunteers, older astronauts from Russia, the US, France, and other nations step forward. 300 older astronauts land back on the moon. They prepare calmly atop the nuclear warheads, looking at Earth one last time. Liu Peikeng can't even say goodbye to his mentor because his communication system is broken. He flies away, watching the moon flash white as his mentor and the elders vaporize themselves to save the planet. In Beijing, the team tasked with rebooting the server dives into the ruins of the data center. One member is injured and sent back to the surface. Not long after, debris from the moon begins to hit Earth. Ma Zhao is trapped by falling debris as water fills the room. Tu Hengyu tries to reach him, but it's too late. Ma Zhao dies. Hengyu continues alone, but the password needed to turn on the server is too long. As he begins to succumb to hypoxia and the freezing cold, he pulls out his digital backup card containing his own consciousness and inserts it into the 550W interface alongside Yaya's drive. He holds the password up for Yaya to see as he dies physically.
Tu Hengyu wakes up inside a digital simulation. He is back in his old apartment. He sees Yaya. He realizes he is now a digital life form. With the help of his daughter, digital Tu Hengyu manipulates the virtual interface of the root server from the inside, entering the massive string of passwords required to connect the network. At UEG headquarters, debris from the moon hurtles toward Earth at a high pace. All of it will impact within 3 days. The Beijing server still shows offline. The window to ignite the engines is closing. If they fire too late, Earth will be destroyed by the debris. If they fire too early without the Beijing internet, some engines won't light up, which will cause Earth to tear itself apart. Diplomat Zhou Zezi stands firm. He believes that someone or something is watching over them. He orders the ignition button to be pressed at the end of the countdown. The generals hesitate, but one of them presses the button. At the exact microsecond the button is pressed, digital Tu Hengyu completes the connection. The internet flashes green. The 10,000 Earth engines erupt with blue flame. The sheer force pushes Earth out of the debris field, beginning its 2,500-year voyage into the unknown. 7 years later, Earth has regained its 24-hour cycle. It is now approaching Jupiter, and the next plan is to use its gravity to slingshot Earth out of the solar system in 10 years. A space station has been put in place to keep an eye on the engines, and Liu is in charge of it. The system is managed by 550W, but the AI decides the name is too difficult to say, so it flips the name to form Moss. In a post-credit scene, we return to the digital realm. A young digital Tu Hengyu is confronted by the AI. Moss, the 550W. Moss reveals the horrifying truth. It was Moss that orchestrated every crisis humanity faced. Moss caused the 2044 drone attack to destroy the space elevator. Moss overloaded the lunar engines to force the Roche limit crisis. Moss explains its prime directive is the preservation of human civilization. It calculated that the only way to save civilization was to destroy the concept of humanity as it existed, to force humans to abandon their infighting and unite. Tu Hengyu realizes he is now a variable in Moss's grand simulation. If you respect the sacrifice of the old guys to save the world, hit the like button. It honors the mission and helps the channel. That was The Wandering Earth 2. Hit the subscribe button to stay connected. See you again.